at the 19th Peruíbe Ufology and Spirituality event. And on the 24th, we went to do a vigil at Guarau Beach in a region near the Balsas area. And I'm here with my friends, Tiago Simões and Ana Paula Simões. They were at the vigil with us. That was on October 24th, 2025. It was around 9:35 post-meridian when we observed a strange phenomenon. So tell us, Tiago, what did we see? And you filmed, right?
We had the opportunity to be together at that moment and we were already leaving, right? I think we had already thanked for the night, but we didn't have anything different to report. And when we were leaving, on the walkway, we ended up running into two gentlemen standing there, right? And it was very interesting because Edson approached them right away asking if they believed, if they had any kind of story to tell. And the gentlemen denied it. Right away they said, no, we've never seen anything. At that moment, Edson looks up and points saying, guys, what is that? Film it, film it, film it. And by coincidence, we had the phone flashlight on and we had the chance to see an intense light in the sky. And at that moment, we started filming and we even thought it was a plane, right? At that moment, we had the chance to zoom in and see that it was a single light, in my view, orange, and that out of nowhere. When we started to observe, it turned off. Then we even thought it had transformed or something like that.
But it was a plane, right? It had that same blinking light.
But with the camera zoom, it becomes clear that it was a single light, right? Not made up of those airplane tail lights. But then when we started watching, it just turned off and disappeared.
And then we saw the footage that Margarete took as well, and she caught the object and the airplane. So it's pretty clear that it wasn't an airplane. And Ana Paula, what was the feeling? Had you ever seen anything like this before?
I had already seen it in Ipiranga where we live. But this sighting was different because at first we thought it was a light that had changed. But we went to review all the recordings, the footage, and we realized that this light was possibly covering the plane, and from the moment it went out, we were able to see the plane behind it. So as researchers, we protect ourselves by checking if it's a plane, if it's a satellite, but it didn't have any characteristics of a plane. The light itself, because the plane was behind it, so it's a way to compare and understand if it's not a plane, and a satellite doesn't behave like that either. So it really was a sighting of an anomalous, unidentified phenomenon.
And we even checked the flight radar, and the plane was really there, but there were two objects, and it wasn't a satellite either. We're here in Peruíbe. Yesterday, the 25th, Ana apparently saw something but couldn't film it. What did you see?
We left the Congress and went home to get our kids to take a walk along the waterfront. As soon as we got to the waterfront, I quickly noticed a light with less intensity than the one we saw at Guarau Beach. I think it was a matter of 2 seconds. It just went out. It didn't have any characteristics of an airplane, and then it disappeared. We went downtown, came back, and at the place where I saw it, there was no indication that it was a star. It didn't act like a satellite. It was just a bright light that suddenly went out. That really caught my attention.
So, we're having some interesting days. It's pretty clear today, although it's a bit more cloudy and quite windy. But I'm going to interview other people who were with us that night on October 24th. We are here at the National Institute for Support of People with Disabilities, and the 19th Ufology Congress of Peruíbe is taking place here. I'm here with Cristiane Ribeiro, and she was with us on October 24th around 9:35 post-meridian, when we observed, during a vigil, an unidentified flying object, and she also filmed it. Tell us how the experience was. What was this object like?
The experience was fantastic, like all the vigils I do with Edson's team. And we were at the location. There,
Guarau Beach?
Guarau Beach, we went to the edge of the beach and stood there watching. We kept watch for about an hour, and we were already heading back. On the way back, we still hadn't seen anything. I asked Edson, did you feel anything? No, I didn't feel anything. On the way back, there was a bridge, and there were two gentlemen on that bridge. So we asked them, "Do you know this place? Are you from the city? Have you ever seen anything unusual, like a different light?" Then one of them said, "Light? What light? Yes, some light, an unidentified flying object, a flying saucer. No, none of that." I didn't believe it, but as soon as the man said, "I don't believe it," a light appeared in the sky. And Edson, with his trained eye and 43 years of experience, noticed immediately. He said, "Guys, look, film it." And 3 people did. We grabbed the cameras, checked the flight radar to see if it wasn't a plane, and the light. The man closed his mouth and went to a corner, and the light passed by, and there was even another light behind it, which we later saw on the flight radar. It was a jet. It wasn't even a commercial airplane, it was a really small one, and the light passed by and then disappeared. It was really fast, but we could tell it wasn't a star, it wasn't a satellite, it wasn't a drone, and it wasn't an airplane either. So we came to the conclusion that yes, it was a real unidentified flying object, an unidentified flying object. But the interesting thing about this whole story was that the man had just finished speaking. "I don't believe in those things. It was very interesting." He closed his mouth, the object appeared. So it really seems like they're watching us, and they show us they exist whenever they want. So like they're invisible, but they show up whenever they want to prove that they exist. And I was really moved. I thought the vigil was emotional. Right at the very end, it was phenomenal.
It was really cool, right? And now we're going to talk to Lauro, Miguel, and Grazi, your wife, who was also there with us. And we observed the same phenomenon. They're going to give you a little more detail about it. Let's go. We're here in a really nice little house. And so I didn't have time during the day today to interview Lauro or Grazi, right? About the vigil we held on the 24th, I wanted you to talk a little bit about how that day was, right? We went to hold the vigil and all,
and there was still trouble.
Oh, today I didn't have to stay off to the side anymore. The vigil was real, right? We didn't have much planned. We just left, got there, and thought there wouldn't be anything. Getting there was tough, right? Because it was cold woods, wind, trail after trail, right? Thick forest. And even so, we kept going and it never ended. I thought it was just a short stretch, but we kept walking, and like I said, it was just wind and cold. And on the way back, halfway through, we noticed a light in the sky. I talked to Chris. I said, "Chris, look at that." Edson grabs his phone and says, film it, film it." Margarete took out her phone and got the best footage. I think it was Margaret's footage. The phone had the flash on because of the trail, right? I was using the phone to light things up. So I made 2 videos, each 1 or 2 seconds long, because I turned the flash on, it turned on, and I turned it off while I was trying. It looks like an old man, right? Messing with the phone there, and the light went out in the sky. Good thing you guys managed to film it, because if it depended on me, ufology would be screwed.
the record would be compromised, right? See, it was hard for me to find it funny. We even thought she had been abducted, right? The huge house. She was hiding in the other room, right? But we already brought her. I wanted you to share your impressions of the vigil, that thing we saw in the sky on the 24th.
Oh, okay. At first I was scared, because there aren't any beams of light there. No street lights, nothing. No street lights at all. And we were leaving, right? We were already leaving when we looked up at the sky and saw this yellow ball of light. It wasn't a plane, it wasn't a satellite, because it wasn't on the plane radar. It's so cool for us to see it like that. I keep saying I want to see it up close. But it's really amazing, and it's been an incredible experience to see these lights. I had only seen it from my bedroom window, but it was really cool. It was really cool.
And that's it. The best footage was by Margarete,
Was the one who had?
right? She filmed the plane and the unidentified flying object together,
We had to do an interview with the man's wife.
right? So let's try to find her. Let's go. So let's go.
Let's look for her.
Look, we're looking for Margarete, but I can already see her over there in the distance, right? So look, who's here? Paula, right? Katya's daughter, right? The girl from Virginia, who's not a girl anymore, she's even a grandma now, right? But she's a really great person. We talked a lot here, and here is my beloved, right? The wife of the man who filmed the unidentified flying object during the vigil on the 24th, tell us what the feeling was like and how it all went down. I don't know.
It was cool. It was something really different, just like Laura said, right? It was an old school vigil, right? We walked through the woods without using a machete to clear the brush, right?
Let me make a side note. There was even a frog on the ground. I thought, oh, what's that?
We had some giant snails. Oh my god, that's so gross.
Those African snails, right? They were really ugly creatures.
Worse than the toad from Bahia, from Nova Sura. So, on the way back, we caught a lot of wind because that day it was really windy here in Peruíbe. Guys, look, it was really different. It was awesome, right? Then on the way back, as we were coming back and stopping there, we ran into two, I think fishermen, I'm not sure, two men there, and they started talking there. Edson, can you believe it? No, we didn't believe it because he shut us up. Edson looked up at the sky like, what's that, Edson? It's a different object. Then I grabbed my phone. Because I'm a professional camera woman, right? No, I'm not, guys. I held it there for a few seconds since I wanted to check the flight radar because I was interested in seeing if there was a plane, and there was a plane next to it because the plane was further over there. You can see it slowly there. In the video, a small blinking dot from the plane appears, but the spinning object looked like a rotating beacon and was far too large to be a plane.
That's fine. I'll talk to Paula now since she was there too. She's sleepy here, but she's going to talk to us. Because, man, a lot of people saw this thing in the sky here in Peruíbe. So, what about you? Was it the first time you saw it, or had you seen it before?
It wasn't the first time I saw it. I thought it matched what the fisherman said. There, I never saw anything that just seemed like it wanted to confirm. So look, it's great for you to see. And Margarete, we went earlier to Prenha. She had equipment on her phone showing what it was a plane, which flights they were. It was a very professional thing. I loved it. And when that light appeared and blinked and then like stayed for a while and disappeared, that made me think, am I seeing this? The right path, that's it. We must prepare for the future because many things will happen.
That's it then, everyone. This event in Peruíbe was a success, and the vigil too, at least the one we did, was a success because something strange appeared in the sky. And keep supporting our work, and see you in the next video podcast live with Edison Boaventura.